this recipe, I'm going to be using the Instant Pot to make a kale and chicken soup that also is tomato based. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is some olive oil, and I have 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm just going to put it on the saute function. And you could do this in a pot on the stove top, but I've noticed that when you do it in the Instant Pot, first of all, you can use frozen chicken breast, and you can use frozen chicken breast that's off the bone and it still ends up tender. And I noticed that it really concentrates the tomato flavor down. And I did it in this once, and everyone in my family noticed that it was different, even the kids, and they said it was better. So I've switched over to only making this in the Instant Pot. I'm gonna saute these onions. And then I have 4 cloves of garlic here that I'm just going to slice up. To the onions, I am going to add 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. So I'm going to make myself a little hot spot in the middle of this pan here to brown up my garlic. I'm going to let the onions cook there on the outside and get these guys in the middle. In the meantime, while I'm cooking the soup, I'm going to boil separately half a pound of ditalini pasta, but you can use any kind of soup size pasta. Okay, so that nice hot spot there is getting some good color on the garlic. Smells good. The onions are sweating. I'm going to move them around. I'm going to take the tomatoes and crush those up. And there, now I'm going to add my tomatoes. Some freshly ground pepper. The carrots. Now usually for a soup that I wasn't doing in the Instant Pot that I was doing on the stovetop, I would cook the carrots along with the onions and the garlic or the celery to soften them. But because I am going to do the pressure cooker, I don't want them to overcook, so I added them a little bit later in the process. The pasta's cooking, and I want to make sure to take that out 2 or 3 minutes before al dente, so really kind of underdone, because eventually it will go into soup and I don't want to overcook it. I gave this about 10 minutes of just sauteing. Now I'm going to add the kale. Just mixing that up a little bit. And like I said, the other amazing thing about the pressure cooker is that frozen chicken can go right in. I'm going to put these 2 frozen chicken breasts on top. On the bone is even better if you have, because that'll give more flavor to the broth. And now I took that can of tomatoes and filled it with filtered water. And I want to just make sure that the chicken is completely nestled underneath that liquid. I'm going to get my lid on, put it to seal, and I'm going to hit the soup function, which is 30 minutes. All right, the soup is all finished. I've removed the chicken and I was just letting that cool. And I'm just gonna shred this apart. Last 2 ingredients I like to add is a can of dark kidney beans and a can of northern beans or cannellini. The cannellini I don't rinse, and the dark ones I do. I let that simmer for another 10 minutes.